Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it is time for this. It's time for an epic Bakugan Legends episode review. So I know people have been wondering, yo, Legends is dropped, man. You gotta watch the episode. You gotta, man. You gotta check it out. Same thing I've heard for Beyblade, Just been a busy boy putting out all these videos and such, getting caught up. Still not done with the 1v1s. Got a few left to do, but I'm saving them because they're the strongest ones, and I like telling the story with the battle. But just been cranking. Y'all know I'm one person. Rome wasn't built in a day, but you already know. Just patience. All things come with time. That's why it's even a theme with the skits and everything. But yeah, we've gotten to the point where we got some episode reviews coming in, and out of respect, please, if you've seen the entire series, definitely do not let me know like what happens in the comments or anything. Um, just want to find it all out for myself and really reflect on it and speak about it and everything, and get that big time surprise. But I will say this: the start. Oh man, okay. All right, Bakugan Legends episode number 1. So it starts off with the usual way of like each season beginning with a recap of what's happened throughout all the different seasons. So like how they took on Tico, how they defeated Havoc, how they managed to shut down, Ultimate Villock, and even last season where like they stopped Genesis Wrath. But yeah, so getting into this, just basically telling about all those struggles and everything. Um, it begins showing off Vestroya. So on Vestroya, there's this huge sphere. Like the ground starts crumbling and cracking everywhere, like huge fissures. And then this gigantic orb pops out. When that happens too, this huge fissure opens on Destroya, and a whole massive crap ton of creatures start popping out of this thing. It's an invasion. We got an invasion on our hands, man. That's literally how they started off. And then we get a cutscene to the Awesome Brawlers at Studio D. No, they were in Los Vomos. But they're trying to use the gate, to go into the maze. But in general, the gates were starting to get damaged because of all the conflicts and such that happened. But Athena and Dan went, and they're actually like talking about things with Pyravian, so the Supreme Bakugan Council, because Drago's a member. Um, Basically, it's brought up how Earth and Destroyer are starting to pull apart because of all the conflicts and such that happen. They're starting to pull apart from one another. We're seeing it happen. Because they were once when they were one world, they had to be combined, for the sake of surviving and such. But now they're starting to pull apart. Um, and Pyravia mentions how there's one way to make it come back, and that being like the Nova, the power of Nova. And basically, the power of Nova is in this orb that I was talking about before, that's sticking out of the ground. Basically, it shares like the power of bonds and such between humans and Bakugan and everything and all beings. It's a really insane power, basically. So, when they're sitting talking about this and the things that are going on, Arliss Apollyon gets murked, boy. This man gets sent way back. Boom! Hits so hard, man. He gets wrecked. They're like, Apollyon, what happened? He basically said invasion. So, outside of this are those black creatures that I was talking about before. A bunch of the creatures that came out, they are known as the Swarm, in the words of Pyravian and Goreen. Drago was confused about it. Dan didn't know what it was, but the Swarm, you know. So, the Swarm invades. So they basically go in there, they're just attacking nonstop. They're trying to fight back and everything, but they're constantly just going. The numbers, they're outnumbered. They're honestly outnumbered. So they had to escape. Like Goreen stayed behind and continued to fight, but then Pyravian told Dan and Drago that they had to go. It's of the most, like, it's of big time urgency. So they're flying. You see them everywhere. Like the swarm's all outside. They've invaded Aropolis. And it's a given they're gonna be invading the other worlds too. You already know. Like so, like Haora, Darkavia, Aquilia, Pyrule, Ventana, they're all in trouble because Aeropolis is already shut down. So you know the swarm's going there next. But they basically are like sapping away the life force and the energy of Vestroia. And that's like that's just how they feed and such. And they're just getting rid of all that energy and everything. It's wild. Um, but Pyravian explains how the only way is using like the power of Nova, uh, to try and have Earth and Vestroia reconnect. Like the full power of Nova. And when they get to that reflector, the swarm was around the reflector, but then they're sitting there attacking the swarm. But then in the middle of that, it actually activates, and Dan and Athena, and Drago and Blitzfox, they're all sent back to Los Momos, you know. So that's kind of like the separation. So they're probably not gonna be able to get back in, you know, probably get back going to Vestroia, at least for now, at least for now, with how things are. That connection's been pretty severed. And the crazy part is like this connection severing type thing, just reminiscent of season 4, with like the original era, because like Dan and Drago and Magma and Razor having that connection, but then it having to be severed, and trying to take over the others a little bit like that, just the world how they're separating and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just a connection I'm thinking with it, but yeah. So with this on Earth, the other awesome brawlers are fighting like a G, Lightning, Shun, Leo, Winton, they're all there, and they're fighting the Swarm because it was said like they're gonna go after Earth as well, right? And Pyravian said yes, unfortunately. So both worlds are under attack and they're pulling apart. This is a bad situation, and the Swarm is invading now. You talk about a big time calculated, waiting for a long time maneuver. Oh my god, dude! Just, dude, it's just blowing my mind because the parallels with like this a little bit, and also Zelda, because like I'm a big Zelda fan, and I'm so excited for Tears of the Kingdom that drops next month. Is the game I mentioned it a lot. Literally got Zonai tattoos before freaking, you know, before they even confirmed to be in the game. This was like what, a year and a half ago got these, but I was that confident in them being in this game, man. And sure enough, and I'm so excited. The parallels in the context of like there was a fissure where like a bunch of demons came out, and that's how things started with Demise, in the world of Zelda. But with this, like a bunch of creatures coming out of a fissure, and then having like a big boss behind it. Hey, I mean, come on, man. But it's a sick approach with it. But you got the swarm, um, and as they're fighting on Earth, the other awesome brawlers are Dan and Athena returned. Huge burst from the reflector, from the Nova reflector. It hits everything in close range, and it basically makes it where Blitzfox, Drago, all the awesome brawlers, Bakugan, so like Howlcore, Trox, Hydrus, Pegatrix, all of them, you know, they got the power of Nova with this. So, Nova Drago, Nova Pegatrix, all of them. And this is how we get the Nova evolution. And, love how they're doing that, man. The way they had that transition with it was very smooth and very clever, getting to this new gimmick and ability and everything. Yeah, it's sick. Just even the storytelling with the show, as well as like the figures themselves, have been amazing. The Dark Cloud is the TCG and just untapped potential, but it still was an amazing game. Just saying that, giving it its roses because it is. Just wish we got the cards more, man, for real. But leaving that at that, um, after they got that power, they were able to fight back more, and then it got to the point where the swarm actually just said, "Nah, we're dipping. We're out of here." So they stopped attacking, and then it was seen that like Magnus was there as well. And then Dan looks around, he sees that everybody's Bakugan have evolved. He's like, "Whoa, that's sick. Well, that's cool." That one I'm not sure about with just being playful Dan and everything. Um, but then they went and they talked to Benton, and basically Athena and Dan told them everything about what was going on. So like the swarm invading, um, the Nova Reflector, how Earth and Destroyer are separating and such, how that could bring it back together, everything basically, bringing them up to speed. So, in the middle of that conversation, um, even at the Academy, Ajit says at the Academy they're fighting the Swarm as well. They get a call from Coach Short, Yeah, Mr. used to be principal or headmaster short himself. Oh man. But yeah, he's basically like, we need help. So they're all going, and they're going to the academy to go and help them. But at the same time, they're taking more, they're listening more to Magnus than they are Dan, because Dan getting back and everything. Dan and Athena, they were in the maze. Well, they were on Vestroia for like 3 hours. But you also know Vestroia time and Earth time are very different. So they were there for like only a few hours. It was a whole week that they were gone on Earth. So they had to fight. The Austin Brothers fought for a whole week without them there. So, you know. And in that week, Magnus was there, and they were honestly struggling, and he stepped up and knows how to fight, knows how to like lead them and everything. So with the swarm, they have another encounter after like they get to Coach Short. Fast forward to this, they get to Coach Short, and he's just been obliterated. Even Colossus got whooped. Colossus is a strong Bakugan. He even got whooped. This shows how strong the swarm is. They are not effing around. They coming for blood, bro. They're not playing. They're not playing at all. This is a full scale, like, we're taking you down invasion, and it shows. So then, like, they go and try to fight the swarm. Dan and Drago try to roll out by themselves. Everybody launches their Bakugan. But then, like, Dan and Drago went to attack on their own, but then the swarm just shot down their attack, and they said how that's not a good idea. They fight as a unit. That's the thing. They're like full scale, well trained soldiers that fight in full unison and full harmony on the most extreme level. Like, they're all equals. They're all like working together as an absolute unit. No headbutting, no chaos, no nothing. Like, they're well trained and they ain't playing. You have one small weakness, like one small opening or one small weakness, they will capitalize on it. That's how you build an evil right there. That alone is like, holy hell. That's a terrifying, vast, unlimited number army that are all united and fight as one with big time power and strategy. It's insane. I wish they'd make a figure for like the small swarm. Like, even if they called it a swarm. Like, I would love to see that as a figure though. Like one of those swarm monsters. But yeah, I think that would be cool. Odds are it might not happen, but a guy can dream, can he? Um, but anyways, with this, like, they're continuing to fight. They start fighting more together. Well, like, Dan and Drago are mainly watching, and they seeing how like Magnus is directing like Shun and Winton to attack that one, attack at that point. They're fighting as a unit. You know what I mean? And Athena sits there and watches and says how things really did change while they were gone, even in the span of a week. Because Magnus stepping up, kind of being at that leader role, man. They're all sitting there listening to him, working in perfect harmony. They're getting the job done. They're getting it done effectively. But Dan just got shut down trying to, uh, you know, go in headstrong like Dan Kuzo. But the balance with this is like, yeah, Dan being like obviously the main protagonist, but with this at the same time humbling him at every chance. Because you've seen it with each season where they do that, and this is definitely that point right at the very jump where, yeah, you gotta not just focus on your own power, you gotta work together. Because if you don't, you stand no chance with this. The numbers and everything are just too much. You gotta work together. If you don't, you're in trouble. And it shows fully with this. This is how you build up an evil. And they did this with the first episode, boy. I'm like, what? This build already. Damn. Damn crazy. Damn crazy. But yeah, so they're fighting out the swarm, and then they happen to retreat for the time being. And then afterwards they're saying like how they all did well and took out every single last one of them. And they did. They took out all of them, man. And at the end of that, at the very end of that, you have one more portal show up as they're all sitting there and speaking. There's one swarm that comes out, but behind that is this huge ass freaking monstrous figure walking with a purpose. You hear the footsteps, you see his demeanor, you see his design, this is getting real. And this had me shook. I'm like, bro, already? Already. They held no prisoners with this, no holds barred. They're like, he's showing up. That being none other than Hanoj. His name is Hinoj. He shows up and stands ominously over all of them. Even like Magnus sitting there, like all the power, his power was so strong it almost blew them all back. But he shows up and he's like, "What have you done to Hinoj's precious swarm?" And then it ends with him yelling and a big silhouette of him. That right there is how you make an impact big time with the storytelling with the first freaking episode. Holy crap. But also got to keep in mind the series is smaller. It's the smallest one out of all of them. You know, Legends is only 13 episodes, you guys. So with that, honestly, getting straight to the point with everything, like what the big build is and such, or the basic like plot with it right away, clever move. Not even having like that many episodes with it, it's still gonna tell an amazing story, and they get out a lot of story with every single episode that they do, and it shows. And with this one, every single one is gonna be key, because you're gonna have a lot. It's gonna happen with every single one. It's gonna keep you on the edge of your seats though, and be like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" Yeah, it's a full dude. It's feeling like Endgame. Like this is the fate of the world. This is fully the fate of both worlds. Like if they can get through this, this is the ultimate evil that they need to just stop. This swarm coming from the depths of the earth. Because if they could shut down the swarm somehow, some way, then hey, saving the world, and it'll be for the last time, of course. But yeah, even though we're getting a fifth season, we got a fifth season in Legends. Overall, the start with this, the build with this was freaking awesome, dude. A lot of stuff they said with it right away, like just introducing the plot of everything. There's another struggle, getting right to the point of it, seeing that struggle firsthand, how they have to work together and such, and then now the plot being even bigger and fully ominous with the arrival of Hinoj. It's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be insane, and just how his design is, because he's technically Arliss. But with that, because it's like, and that makes sense, because the balance of Vestroya and such, you know, like the power of Arliss. But like, with that, been slumbering for a long time, you're talking about ancient Bakugan. Yeah. This is going to be insane, man. I'm looking forward to this series for sure. But anyways, that's the review on episode 1 of Bakugan Legends, y'all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. You know, I'm going to be sitting, binge watching it big time. It's going to take me a few days to, like, get out all episodes and everything. But still, it's 13 episodes. But I'm going to be cranking big time with them. Also, I'll be doing reactions for Beyblade Burst Quad Strike. So that's probably going to take up my days for the next few days. Anyways, when it comes to content. Other stuff being added, of course, as well. I'll throw in like a few battles and everything that I still got to do just to keep like the content fresh and everything with it. But you know, you'll be seeing a lot of reviews and reactions and everything coming very soon, and much more planned too. You already know. Like I said, I had a huge amount of this stuff to do before. Now it's like a hill, but I still got a bunch to do. That's for sure. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comments. And like I said, please don't spoil me on anything that happens with the series. Like I'll go with it with each of the episodes and everything, and you know, you can talk about whatever I mentioned with like the episode I'm currently on. That's perfectly fine. But you know, definitely don't spoil me with what's gonna happen. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm hyped for this series, and this just the way they started, I'm still like shook about it. Like damn, but it was well played. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content, because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here.